Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam and welcome. Have been a long time without speaking about Mahamantra, as Tattva is a never-ending study, and my private investigation is continuing. I find out a new text that I would like to share with you called Reference to the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and I read this long ago. This text has 29 pages with verses and shlokas that are showing the Mahamantra Hare Krishna on Shastras. Saying this, I want to make it very clear that the followers of Radha Raman Sharan Dastev and traditional Gaudiya Vaishnavism, previous 1850s, were some adjustment together with the Vrindavan Kumbh of 1922 did the final adjustments on Mahamantra Hare Krishna. Previous to that times, Mahamantra was not chanted on Kirtan, but what we believe is that of course the Mahamantra is on Shastras. To say that Mahamantra is not on the Granthas of Gaudiya Vaishnavism will be a totally nonsense. We believe that Mahamantra of course is in the Granthas of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, but it is not used as Kirtan. I am very, very open to have a conversation maybe with the writer, I don't know who is. From here I want to show my respect to your work, but I will study from a Sankhya point of view, so an analytical point of view. So forgive me if I am contradicting some of the studies or some of the writings here, but I will show everything under the eyes of the Shastra and the philosophy. References to the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. References from the followers of Sri Chaitanya. Dhyana Chandra Goswami described the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in his Gaura Govindarshan Smaran Padati in the following words. Drawing from the Sanat Kumar Samhita. Hara Hare. By the way, when the translations or the writers are quoting the verses like this that Jagadananda Das did also to put capital letters between words, it makes it really difficult to read. So I will jump on this and I will just comment on the verse, and then Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, the Mahamantra. There are 3 Krishna mantras that are very pure and powerful. They are famous for bestowing Prem Bhakti on their chanters. And he reads mantra Daro, mantra, now he is saying mantra. Verse is not speaking, of course, about Kirtan, it's speaking about mantra, Ankara, count, mantra, and Mahamantra Hare Krishna. Everybody agreed that, followers of Radha Raman Sharan Dastev agree that Mahamantra is the all-powerful mantra. There is nothing above. There are 3 mantras, 3 Krishna mantras that are very pure and powerful. They are famous for bestowing Prema Bhakti on their chanters, no doubt. Reference to the first mantra is from Sanat Kumar Samhita. The words Hare Krishna are repeated twice, and then Krishna and then Hare in this verse is speaking how is the Mahamantra. So is this one, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, right? See that here it is referred as a mantra. So for the ones who say that this is not a mantra, wrong. This is a mantra and we are quoting from the Shastras. This is correct. The mantra is thus. The mantra is thus. Mantra. Mantra has prescriptions. Harinama is different. Mantra and Harinama are different. The mantra is thus. Hare Krishna, verse 134, 135, 136. And here reads, Japa matrena, siddhi daha. Japa mantra, mantra and japa. Siddhi na. Here, siddhi. It will give perfection. Mantra, japa give perfection. And we're speaking about Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Did you see what I am telling you? It's all there. It's just to see, isn't it? The meditation which accompanies this Mahamantra, meditation, dhyan of this Mahamantra is a mantra. Every mantra has dhyan, has a meditation. The meditation of this Mahamantra is also found in the Sanat Kumar Samhita. Sri Krishna is sporting in the cooling waters of the Jamuna or in the shade of a Kadamba tree in the beautiful Vrindavan forest. He is ornamented by the cow and gopas and is accompanied by Sri Radha. He is very skillful at playing the flute as he stands in a charming Trivanga pose bestowing mercy and kindness upon the bhaktas. See how here is the pramana that I have been speaking all the way for the last 2 years. The meditation of this Mahamantra, of this mantra japa. In the previous verse we saw mantra japa, you saw it, and now it reads the meditation of this mantra. This is a mantra. The ones who say that this is not a mantra, sorry to say, but it's so wrong. So wrong. Gopala Guru Goswami, drawing from the Brahmanda Purana and adding the second stanza, has presented the following meaning for the Mahamantra. Why Mahamantra needs a meaning? Starting with, you understand that Mahamantra is a mantra. Just the name reads Mahamantra. Mahamantra is not a mantra. This is ridiculous. It's a mantra. The Lord is known as Hari because He takes away the ignorance of His devotees by revealing to them the actual nature of the Supreme Lord and His personal spiritual form. Because Chi steals Krishna's mind, because Chi is the incarnation of Krishna's joy, Radha is also known by the name of Hara. Hare. The dark, lotus-eyed Lord, the only master of the highest joy, who brings pleasure to Gokul, the son of Nanda, is known as Krishna. Krishna is also known as Rama because the joys of conjugal life are the essence of his being, because he is the titular deity of loving sports incarnate, and because he brings pleasure to Srimati Radharani. Rupa Goswami praised the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in his Laghu Bhagavatamritam 1:4. Let's take a look to the verse. The syllables Hare Krishna are so forth emanated from the mouth of Sri Chaitanya, drowning the universe in prem. Let these names be glorified. He longs to again attain the darshan of Sri Chaitanya's calling out the holy names, as present in Stavamal Prathama Chaitanyastakam 5, and this is another evidence that Hare Krishna is a mantra, must to be counted, and at the same time Gauranga did it this way and not in Kirtan. What it reads? Nama Ganana. Ganana, chanting the name. Karaha. What has in the kara, in the hand? When will Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whose tongue is always dancing by loudly chanting out Hare Krishna Mahamantra, who counts the name which he is calling out on the splendor strip of cloth from around his waist, which has been tied with knots for chanting? Do you understand this one more time? Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu is chanting out loud the Mahamantra Hare Krishna? Yes. This mean Kirtan? No. Why? Because he's using a strip of cloth tied with knots for chanting. It's a mala with knots. It's not japa mala as we know nowadays, this Tulsi mala or any mala, but it's a traditional. Even Gaura Kishoredas Babaji Maharaj was seen many times with this kind of mala, not having or losing their wooden mala, to say the traditional japa mala. They took just a strip of cloth and they make knots like this to say, yeah? There is a knot, I don't know if you can see. And with this knot, making different knots, they count. Gauranga Mahaprabhu have been tied with knots for chanting. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu is saying the Mahamantra in a loud voice, yes, but is counting the mantras with the cloth. This is japa, whose eyes are so large and they seem to reach his ear, very long arms, etc., etc. Beautiful verse by Sri Rupa Goswami Pad. Here the word Ushaihi loudly is used for Mahaprabhu chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Right, he is chanting out loud, and this is no problem because mantras has 3 forms. One, Bashika, Upamshu, second, and third is Manasik. In Bashika Japa, you can say it out loud, the Mahamantra. Loud as you want, because this was exactly what Sri Haridas Thakur did. He chanted the first 1 lakh in loud voice, and then in Upamshu, and finally in Bashika, in Upamshu, and finally in Manasika. This was Sri Haridas Thakur Namacharya, name given by Gauranga Mahaprabhu, technique to chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, to do the japa of Mahamantra. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu is doing exactly the same, and we have it here, right? It's here, tied with knots for chanting. So he didn't have a japa mala for mantra at that moment, so he took just from his waist, he took a piece of cloth, make knots, and start japping the mantra and chanting in loud voice. Perfect. Problem with that? No. Radha Ramancharan Das Dev has any problem with that? No. Because it's shastric. One day a group of kirtan came to Radha Raman and started teasing him and saying, we will not achieve prem if we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra out loud. The prem will not come to us. Radha Raman said, don't worry, you chant. And he sit in the middle of the kirtan and take his japa mala and start counting. And in that very moment, all the people in the kirtan, all the sadakas in that kirtan, who was of course not his gang, but was a different group, everybody fell in ecstasy. All of them fell in ecstasy, and tears start coming from the eyes because they were doing the correct process, counting the Mahamantra, as Gauranga is doing. We just saw. Baladev confirms in his Stava Mala Vibhusana Vasya that this indeed refers to the 32 syllables Mahamantra. Yes, of course, it's Mahamantra Hare Krishna. Hare Krishneti mantra pratika grahanam sodasa namatmana dvatrimsa daksarena mantre noshair usharitena spurita krita nitya rasana jiva jaisya saha. One more time, writing with capital letters and no capital letters, all mixed up, is honestly a little bit difficult to read. The Hare Krishna mantra was resounding in his mouth. The mantra, consisting of 16 names and 32 syllables, was uttered and dancing in his tongue. Yes, in his tongue, dancing. He was not dancing kirtan of the Mahamantra. The verses is showing. Raghunath Das Goswami stated in his Sachi Sunbastakam 5. When will that son of Mother Sachi, who taken the residents of Bengal as his own, inspire them to chant Hare Krishna a prescribed number of times daily, and who like a father gave them many cherished instructions, again become visible to me? One more time, we have here Hare Krishna prescribed number. Gauranga instruction was chant the Hare Krishna under a prescribed number every day. This is not the kirtana as we know the kirtana songs with music. Some say nowadays this is called sense gratification. I don't know about that, but what I know is that Gauranga Mahaprabhu is saying clearly under a prescribed number, right? Even the writer here is commenting on this prescribed number, a prescribed number of times daily. So what is this? Is japa. Every day you do the same number of rounds. This is japa. Sarva Bhauma Bhattacharya Sten Chaitanya Shatakam. Indeed, I have been covering in my own book in Spanish, that soon the PDF will be ready for English. I have been covering all these verses already. And now here is used this verse out of the full picture, the full frame of the 100 verses, Satakam, verses of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. They are taking only this verse to say, oh, Hare Krishna Kirtan. No. He is teaching mantra, japa, and is teaching kirtanas. I asked to one well-known Goswami from Gopal Bhatta Parivar, Radha Raman Mandir, Vrindavan. And I sent this information as well. And he answered me with the interesting text. Of course, I will not quote him by name since I haven't been asking to quote him on this context or videos. So here we have the answer. Regarding to the exactly the same verse 64, he answered,
it's always best to read the Shastra to understand the context. Sri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's most beautiful prayer speaks about the glories of holy name donation by our beloved Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in many verses of this scripture. It would only take 30 minds for you to read 100 verses.
In the verse 53, first line indicates Sri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says Krishna Nam is the one mantra, which means holy name is like mantra in Kali Yuga. Holy name is like a mantra in Kali Yuga. Then he quotes the verse 81.
In the same way, at the verse 81, he says, Gayanti Yatnair Harinama Mantram. Sing with great endeavors the names of Hari.
64, that is the verse quote on the PDF that we are studying now.
Now this verse in question has the same means he distributes Hari's name, which is like mantra, to Kali Yugi people. How to accept this? Well, in this very scripture, answer is given. Verse 22 states the Leela of Mahaprabhu, that how he is distributing the Hari's name while chanting Hari Hari and dancing on it.
We're speaking that this confusion of Mahamantra Kirtan is just a misunderstanding on the Shastras. It's taking one line literally without taking in consideration the full context of the philosophy. Non-philosophy is so simple and so like 2 + 2 is 4. Philosophy must to be deeply meditated, understand and given by the real acharyas. So to say, they read this Hare Krishna mantra, or Krishna mantra, Kirtan, Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtan, this is wrong. This is wrong, friends, sisters, brothers, this is wrong. You must take consideration all the topics. And even if those verses are there and are kind of puzzling the Siddhanta, you must to scale up. If in this perspective looks a little bit confusing for you, what you have to do 1-2 generations before that, what those Vaishnavas more closest to the time of Gauranga were doing. And if that is confusing, you go further until you get to Nitai Gauranga directly, or the Shat Goswami, what they were doing, what was the spiritual practice they did.
Chaitanya Bhagavata, Chaitanya Bhagavata, Chaitanya Bhagavata, Chaitanya Bhagavata.
This is the pramana, because of course with the time the things are changing. Have you seen the experiment where they put 20 people in a round? The first person hear one secret.
This classic game works for all levels of student and works best with classes of 10 to 20 students. Step 1. Get the students to form a line or a circle. Step 2. The teacher whispers a short sentence or phrase into the student's ear. Step 3. Get the students to whisper the sentence to the person next to him. Step 4. This should continue round the circle or down the line until the last student. Step 5. The last student should speak the phrase out loud, then the first student should speak the initial sentence or the phrase out loud. Okay, Brian.
6 and 7 sausages.
6 and 7 sausages. What did I tell you?
7 sizzling sausages.
7 sizzling sausages. 6 and 7 sausages. Not bad, not bad. Most of the time, the initial meaning is lost, and the results can be quite funny.
With the time the things start getting watery and changing. But when you get something watery and change as a sadhana practice, you will have no succeed. That's why when these things are there, Kirtan Mahamantra, Kirtan Japa, something is weird. You cannot rely on the people in this platform who are confused on that. You must to go back in time, get grantas. Okay, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is saying this that may be confusing, but is any confusion in further, more important, Chaitanya Bhagavata, Chaitanya Charitamrita? Is there any confusion? No. Chaitanya Chandramrita, any confusion? No. Rupa Goswami Pad, looking at Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, is describing exactly what Gauranga is doing.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chants the Hare Krishna mantra in a loud voice, the holy name dancing on his tongue as he counts the number of recitations on a beautiful knotted string held in his effulgent hand.
Is any confusion there? There is no confusion. So this must be your pramana. You cannot rely on the explanation of 1 million people who came hundreds of years after Gauranga Mahaprabhu. You must go back to the roots. This is Nitai Gauranga, what they did. This is what we must do. Padma Purana says there is one God, Lord Ram, he is the only Brat. One should worship him only. His name is the only mantra. Tulsidas writing.
Chanting mantra, Ram's name, and immense faith towards it is the fifth bhakti which Veda elaborates. Tulsidas.
Balavacharya explained.
There is only one scripture, Gita, only one God, Krishna, only one mantra. His holy name, only one, Dharma, Krishna, Seva.
Now the things surely looks much more clear for everybody, yes, for everyone, because we need a deep understanding on the scriptures, and the scriptures must be taken as a full composition, not one specific thing that contradicts everything. 75. Sri Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya writes in his another prayer how Mahaprabhu is chanting sometimes. Gauranga is absorbed in devotion to Sri Hari. Gaura Hari maintains the chanting of the names of Hari. While chanting, he counts the holy names on the fingers of his hands. Gaura Chandra is addicted to the name of Hari. He always has tears of love welling in his eyes. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Sachi. While chanting, he counts the holy names. This is the process of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and this is all what you will see from Gauranga Mahaprabhu and the Mahamantra Hare Krishna. Now there are other songs that Gauranga did, like Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Paniman Krishna Krishna Rakshaman Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshaman, etc. Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Gopala Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. All these songs, yes, Gauranga did, dancing with musical instrument, kartal, mirdangams, everything. This is described on the scriptures, but there is no scripture describing Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtan. There is none, no verse on that. The only verses, as we have been studying today, that seems to say something else, something different. But when you study the scripture, you understand the philosophy, Vaishnava philosophy and Gaudiya philosophy, you realize that it's not saying that. The next verse, quote here, is Prabodhananda Sarasvati, Vrindavan Mahimamrita. It seems like he's doing Kirtan of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but reads, Chaitanya Deva, very famous for form of mercy, sang the perfect mantra, Hare Krishna Krishna, and so forth. When he will give his favor to me, causing me to attain Sri Vrindavan? Yes, this is also still nowadays is a very popular Bengali Kirtan to say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, or Krishna Krishna, or Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. But it's not the Mahamantra. They use one like a Hare Krishna or Ram. They combine in such a way to make a song, but it's not the Mahamantra Hare Krishna. Prabodhananda stated in Chaitanya Chandramrita, engaged in japa of Hare Krishna and so forth, his own holy names, which brings auspiciousness to the world, his hand trembling with love as he touched the note strings about his waist to count the number of names. Well, there is one more time Gauranga Mahaprabhu doing japa, only on Mahamantra japa. Kavi Karnapur described the shaving ceremony of Sri Chaitanya and his Chaitanya Charitam in his Chaitanya Charita Mahakavya. When Sri Gauranga accepted sannyas, the barber took the blade of his hand but was not able to shave any of the Lord's curly locks out of grief. In great ecstasy, Sri Gauranga Deva told him to repeatedly chant Hare Krishna out loud. Then the barber loudly chanted the same and began his job shaving while he wept, and his body was studded with goose pimples. It is not Mahamantra Hare Krishna, it's saying Hare Krishna. There are popular recordings of Anandamayi Ma that she chant this. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. If we will write this in a verse, we'll say, yes, Ananda Mayi Ma is chanting Hare Krishna Ram out loud with instruments. People 500 years in the future, in case of Gauranga to our times, will say, oh, Ananda Mayi Ma was doing Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtan. No, she didn't. What she did, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. The followers of Bijoy Krishna Goswami, they chant a very beautiful kirtan. If we will put this verse in a book, we will say the devotees were glorifying Gauranga, Narayan, Radha and Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna Ram. So people will say, oh, Hare Krishna Kirtan, yes, Hare Krishna Kirtan, look, Hare Krishna Kirtan. No, every single time where Gauranga is doing Hare Krishna Mahamantra is doing japa. Everybody should start seeing the difference and understanding properly. We will see in the next. Thank you very much for watching. Sri Guru Deva ki jai, Ra Ramancharandas Deva ki jai. Jai Nitai Jai Gaur Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam.